This is the first in a series of videos about how to set up an art studio at your home. Today we will talk about the easel. One of the most important parts of an art studio is the easel. Do you actually need an easel? The answer is yes and no. It all depends on what you have in mind as your creation and what media you use. Some artists prefer drawing a drawing table or just a desk to draw and paint. Others use easels. And yet others who produce large pieces of art use a mounting on the wall. So that the first step that you have to take is to know yourself, know your style, know what you want to create, and then you will easily decide whether you need an easel and what type. I personally like using an easel. I do not like drawing tables because they hold the surface, be it paper or canvas, horizontally or at a low angle. At such low angles, you run the risk of a distorted drawing or painting that you will only notice when you're half done, when you're done, or even worse, when it's hanging on the wall. Granted, the media that I use, which is primarily acrylics and oils, are suitable for an easel. For artists that use watercolor or ink, a horizontal surface like a table, desk, or if they want to use an easel, a horizontal easel, are the best options. Standing easels will display your art at an angle that aligns with your head's natural axis so that you see the painting the way it's gonna look when it's hanging on the wall. Like me, you can always choose to hang it away from the easel on the wall and step back a few feet now and then to double check on it over and over again in an obsessive and compulsive manner until you're satisfied. And you will do it just like me, even if you use an easel. Ideally, I think acrylic and oil painters should paint on a wall-mounted easel or a totally vertical one that holds the canvas at a 90-degree angle from the floor, which is the way it will be seen by the audience once it's hanging in a gallery or home. These are usually the H-frame or single mast easels, but most easels allow you to change the angle at which the canvas stands. You can also adjust most easels for various sizes of canvas and the height of the canvas so that you can adjust it to paint in a standing or seated position. Wall-mounted easels and single mast easels also have the advantage that in general they occupy less space. If you work outdoors like the Impressionists, consider a field easel, also known as plein air easel or a French easel. These easels are lighter and usually include a storage box for your brushes, paint, jars, racks, and more. I have found that in choosing a plein air easel, you have to accept a compromise between your ability to carry it or portability and stability. While a lightweight easel of this kind might be good for carrying it to the place where you want to paint, if it's too light, it may not be stable enough to withstand the slightest breeze. Also, you may have to limit the size of the canvas that you use for plein air painting because large canvases are more likely to act as a wing or sail and fly away, easel and all. Keep things in mind when choosing one. You can always do like Monet did. Call your friends or the kids of the town to help you carry your stuff to that top of that beach cliff you want to paint from. Pastel painters want to choose an easel that tilts forward towards you so that the dust doesn't stay over your painting and you can continue to paint. You can always build your own easel, but if you're like me, you must have divorced the hammer and nails a long time ago. If you haven't divorced them, there are multiple videos in YouTube that explain how to build one. Until I learn how to make one, I'm not going to try to explain how to do it. Many painters are creatures of habit and make adjustments to keep their habits. If you prefer to paint with acrylics or oil on a desk or the floor or whatever and it works for you, then that's your easel. Don't change what you know how to do. So, in summary, if you want to use an easel, make sure that the easel meets the following criteria. Number one, sturdiness. Don't choose a flimsy one. Number two, stability. It must not fly away with the slightest breeze or with the touch of a brush. Number three, in the case of plein air painters, portability. And remember that you will have to compromise between sturdiness, stability, and portability of plein air easels. It must also be adjustable, that's number four, and it must adjust for canvas size, for angle of the canvas, and for the height of the canvas. Number five, security. The easel must hold your canvas in place with a clasp, clip, clamp, or any mechanism that doesn't damage the canvas itself. And finally, if this is of importance to you like it is for me and many, it must not occupy a lot of space. And of course, budgets, that's the a big factor when you are trying to choose one. So I hope that this video has been of help. I hope that you can make a decision of whether to buy an easel or not and what type. Please leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe, and if you like it so much, share. Thank you, and I will see you later. Bye bye. See ya, bye bye.